in, but they have only on Thursdays. They have loaded potatoes, like chicken loaded potatoes, steak, brisket, all these different loaded potatoes,
Oh,
and they
that
all
sounds
it's the daily special, and they literally always be sold out by like noon.
really.
They're huge, so I had some for lunch, and now I'm eating the rest for dinner.
Girl, one time I forgot what, you know what it was. No, it wasn't for, it might have been UGA. No, because I watched that was New Year's Day, wasn't it? New Year's Day was UGA.
Normally New Year Eve or day, one or the other.
One of them. Maybe going into New Year's Eve. Yeah, because we brought in New Year's. Okay, but anyway, it was something we were watching at Buddy's house like this year, and it was something big, and she made a potato bar. And
Ooh,
when I tell you she put her foot in that, she had those really big potatoes. She had an entire bar set up with different meats, chicken, steak. She even had shrimp. She had made like everything. It was so good. It was
that's
amazing.
good.
Yeah, you made me hungry talking about your loaded potato.
Time I ever had it, Terica had made us loaded potatoes, but she didn't make like I usually think loaded potatoes is bacon, cheese, sour cream. She did the same thing. She had it was almost like nacho potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
Taste
Yep. Yep.
turkey, and she had shrimp. It was so
Mm,
freaking good.
that sounds good. Literally, I wish I had Uber Eats where I am.
Girl, can you welcome the people? Because my mouth is full.
Oh yeah, what up? So why we are back. I think is this episode 26?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I didn't even look. I didn't even look. So welcome back to episode 26. We're on episode 26, me and my sister. This is Don't Listen to Me podcast with myself, Alnisa, and my real blood sister.
Lauren.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Thank y'all for joining us.
Thank y'all so much for joining us. I am eager to get to a drinking because
Oh,
it
yeah.
has been it's not been a bad week for me. It's just been overwhelming. I'm overwhelmed, overstimulated, and I haven't been drinking.
Stretched thin,
Yeah.
just everything. You
So
haven't been drinking, you said?
not really. I don't know. My tolerance has changed since I've turned 35.
That was literally not even a month ago. What are you, 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago it hit you.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus, Lord.
Literally. Literally. What you drinking, sis?
I'm actually drinking this jam jar that you left over at my house. I saved it for this occasion. I was like, ooh, yes, she left her wine and I can drink it Thursday.
I love me some jam jar. You know
Yes, that's your jam. That's your jam.
that's my jam. I'm still drinking. The old man got me that wine subscription. I still got a whole bunch of bottles from this. So this, I typically stay away from Chardonnay because,
Oh, okay, yeah.
but I didn't really want any red wine tonight, so I just poured a little glass of Chardonnay.
You
What's
know what?
percentage of jam jar?
Oh, that's a good question. Oh, 12.5. Wow. That's a good percentage.
That
I
actually is
wouldn't have thought that from
jam
Jam
jar is
Jar.
so good. It tastes so good, and it's such a reasonable price.
It is. It's very reasonable. Um, this is a side. Oh, how much is yours? How much
It's
for the
at
percent?
14.5, but Chardonnay, that's why I take it slow. Oh, is this the same Chardonnay that I
14.5.
had last week? I feel like this is the exact same bottle, y'all. My
It's
apologies.
possible.
Now that I'm thinking, I'm like, I think I was drinking Chardonnay last week on the podcast. Lord, see,
Listen,
I don't know.
let me just don't listen. Don't listen. They got the double, double, double. Where'd you go, Lo?
I had something in my teeth. I had to get it out. I didn't want to be all like I don't have my home training.
They know. They know. The audience know. They real ones. Um, Sidebar. I've had another doozy of a week, but this week
We
has
forgot.
tried me. This week has tried me. No, before we get there, but one of my staff members, as she was walking out today, she was like, "Oh, Miss Anissa, it's been such a long day. Tonight I'm gonna have to causes for me to break out the pink Moscato." And I was like, literally in my mind, I said, I was like, "Okay, girl," but in my mind, I was like,
I ain't doing that.
"Weak, you is weak." Just a weak link. Come on, pink Moscato. Oh,
Now,
Jesus.
come on.
I was like, "Oh, baby, she don't know no better. She don't know no better."
Whatever in your cup, fill it up. You know what? Pink Moscato, whatever you.
Okay, I'm gonna stop talking about the pink Moscato. My bad. I didn't mean to call y'all out like that. That. I had to catch her, y'all. You see that?
Ooh, that's really good. I forgot. I need to get my headphones. I'm so sorry. I feel like I'm always here. Let me run. I was charging them up just for such a time as this. But basically, y'all. Oh, sis, can you start with telling them what we did this weekend?
Oh, yay. We had a great time this weekend, guys. Oh, it was beautiful. So, as you know, or maybe you don't, I am a mother of two. My oldest son, he's 19 and he is in his first year of college. And now my baby girl, who is 17, she's about to graduate high school. She's in 12th grade. She only got a couple more weeks. So this weekend was her prom, and she was fly. She had an all black dress, like a mermaid dress. She went to prom with one of her best guy friends. They've been best friends since maybe about the ninth grade. So she had a meeting with us beforehand. Like, listen, don't act crazy. Don't question him. He is just my friend. Don't nobody grill him. Like, he's really just my friend. And so the guy came over, the young man, he brought her flowers and a little corsage. I was about to say croissant. Corsage. And yeah, they had them a good time. My brother B, he was of course our photographer, and he took all the photos. My sister, can you hear me? I don't think she can. My sister, she helped Brandon with all the poses, and they just had them a good old time. Lauren, I was shouting you out because you had all the poses for Naughty. You can't hear? You did all that. I can't hear you.
Okay.
You back, baby, like you never left. You back like you never left, baby.
Thank you. It's probably gonna be a little echoey. I was trying to do the headphones, but
They still there. They still there. You ain't give them enough time.
no, I think sometimes it won't connect after you're already in.
Oh, I got you.
What it is.
I got you.
But yeah, no, I didn't mean to interrupt.
I done wrapped it all up, girl. I told them how you was helping with all the poses. It was a good time. The family was here. I cooked. The grandbaby was here. Their dad was here. Like, everybody came and just celebrated her, and it was amazing. It was really great. I just love my family so much.
Yeah. It was a really good time. The old man, you said when he was looking at Naughty, he kept saying she looked like a little doll. She looks
like a Barbie doll.
So
she's gorgeous. Yeah.
It's a treat because I was thinking, I saw like a couple of different like young girls prom dresses this season, and I feel like they're so classy. Like, it's so shocking how classy and classic. Like, a lot of the girls were wearing black gowns,
Yeah.
beautiful black gowns. So I'm just like, this is a different time. They really,
You know what though? I think literally the style changes so quickly now. I feel like every single year there's almost like a trend, you know what I'm saying? Like, or even every other year, I feel like it's a different trend. Like I know for sure 2, 3 years ago I was seeing different prom dresses on different girls, and even maybe last year, even the dresses that I was seeing last year, I feel like they were a lot different from the ones I've seen this year.
yeah,
Because even some of Nadia friends from the other side of town wore the same kind of gowns, just like gowns.
that's a trip. I love
Right?
it though. I'm like,
Me too. I love it.
years from now, looking at your prom pictures, that's gonna be classic. It's never gonna go out of style. The look that Nadia served.
Ooh, hunty, she came through.
Yeah,
She wanted all the smoke.
yeah, she looked. Well, that was really fun. I had a good time with the fam.
Yeah.
And what we did there after Nadia went to the prom, you may ask. You saw it
Ooh, ooh,
correctly.
ooh, ooh,
We
ooh.
watched Love is Blind. So what
Mm.
what we did was the finale came out Friday.
Oh,
So we watched the finale together.
yes.
Then Sunday, the live reunion.
Lives. Live.
We're gonna have to talk about that.
Yes, let's
You
talk
know,
about it.
so we watch that separately and we always be talking about it. So if you all didn't see it, it's been out for like it's been out for a while now.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you do watch the show, please feel free to chime in. If you don't watch the show, still feel free to chime in because we're gonna give you the full scenario.
Yeah.
But I just want to jump right in. Did you have anything else before we jump right into the topic for today?
Nope.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
That being said, I want to just jump right in.
Let's go, baby. Let's go,
I
baby.
talk straight away about Jacquelina, Marshall, and Josh. So I'm not on social media, but I've heard it through the grapevine that there were some messages that whoever, one of Jackie's friends or Jackie herself, leaked, where she was talking negatively about Marshall and saying something along the lines of, I'll have the receipts at the reunion. Like, I'm gonna bring the receipts at the reunion. She didn't
I can't remember if I.
understand. She wasn't telling the general public that. It was like a group chat thread that she was talking to her friends, where she was calling him names,
What?
like her friends, that she's gonna have the receipts at the reunion.
And
So
she didn't show up? I can't stand people just selling wolf tickets for no reason.
so overall, sis, what's your take on the whole Jackie Marshall Josh thing?
I think that Jackie and what's Josh? What's his name?
The one that she was on the show with originally?
No, the one she ended up with.
Josh, yeah.
Josh. Josh. Jackie and Josh should just get lost. Don't come around these parts. What's wrong with you? Why would you not gonna do what you said you was gonna do and bring the receipts, but you decided you wanted to do a little video and tell the people how you feel? Girl, if you don't get lost, leave. You were supposed to be bringing receipts, and we ain't gonna accept this video. We need you to bring the receipts. This is what this is. This is a reality show. Put on a show.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. That might have been a little harsh,
No.
but that's how I feel.
And is. The thing about it is, we ain't never been on a reality show.
True. However, we have been on two game shows. If y'all didn't know,
One.
two.
But I'm saying that to say, like, I can't really relate to trying to have empathy. Like, I watch
Mm-hmm.
Cameron review Love Is Blind. He was on the first season. He's married.
Who?
Cameron from
Oh, okay. From the first. Okay, yeah.
little like a recap of the show sometimes too, but
Mm-hmm.
he treads very lightly because he can empathize with what they're going through.
Right.
But I'm like, we haven't been on there, so guess I just have a little less empathy. You signed up for a reality show. This is the 4th season. This is not the first season, so it's not like you don't know what to expect. You know what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
Know that this is a huge, wildly successful show that people have opinions about.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that us giving our opinion necessarily is a reflection on their character. I'm just saying what I saw. We just saying what we saw.
What we saw.
Yeah.
But don't listen to us. I mean, this is our opinion, you know.
Don't listen to me. So, but also, I'm about to tell you what I think.
You sound like your daddy, girl.
It's happening, yeah. Now, Jackie, I will be honest. At first, I was rocking with Jackie because when she had said something, she was giving it her thoughts. Two things that I was like, oh, Jackie,
she a real one.
Yes.
Wood.
2 things that happened. One, when Chelsea saw Kwame talking to Micah, and Jackie and Tiffany were talking to Chelsea. And first, Jackie and Tiffany were like, don't worry about it, girl. Then Chelsea, get them. Jackie turned around. She said, I would behead him. Jackie saw how close Kwame and Chelsea and what they were getting into. Jackie looked back at Chelsea and said, oh, I would
literally. She did just like that. In terms, I would behead him. She did.
She was like, go handle that. Go handle that. Go handle that. No, I would never allow it. That was the first time where I was like, oh, Jackie, She's
really colorful. She's really colorful. I'm telling you.
The thing that they capture and air was she was in like a confessional and she was talking about Irina. She was like, Irina's Irina. She's the peasant. She was like, and not the peasant in the sense of the old world. She was like, she's just a peasant. Silly little game, little. I was like, okay, Jackie, you're giving what we're thinking, so I'm here for it.
Yeah,
it took a drastic turn.
Drastic.
Villain of all villains, and I just don't like he did all of that. Got with this other man.
I know.
Talked so out the side of her neck about a whole another grown man that she had said, yes, I will marry you to. Then said she was gonna come with the receipts, called him gay, called him sweet, called him
soft,
this stuff. And then in the reunion, 2 things I was highly pissed about. Vanessa and her must be cousins, because the way Vanessa was kikiing and you sit with your man and I was like, okay, are y'all cousins? Like, why are you not holding this girl's A to the fire like these other folks? She held Marshall more to the flame than she did Jackie.
Yeah.
I hated that Jackie was still trying to throw out instances where Marshall was mistreating her as if it would excuse the way she was treating Marshall.
Yeah.
I would say, whether you like it or not, one of the things that I'll always be telling folks is it's so effed up for somebody to punch. This is my analogy, for you to punch me in the face and then be mad when I smack him back. I just smack you out of nowhere. No,
you're
punch me in the face. So I hate when Jackie's like, oh, he called me a derogatory term. And then when Marshall talks, he's like, Jackie was poking at me the whole time. She called me names and she was getting jab after jab after jab. And then finally I had a reaction and said her jaw.
She got a
strong jaw.
Oh, girl, let me tell you something. And this is let me just say something. This is no, never mind. This is not a sidebar. Never mind. She got a strong jaw. That's it. That's all.
And her new man got a strong ear.
ears. They come out their ear.
It's the cauliflower ear for real. Like, I guess he done been hit so much in wrestling that you got to look at it. It's a real thing. It's like the cartilage in the ear. It's not like normal.
He should just let his hair grow. I know he can.
Ooh, it looked bad. And they had the nerve to keep getting him on the ear that was the messed up. The angle was right there with it. I was like,
why is that what you go to, Lauren? Really?
Recruit go on the other ear that was less messed up. Now
you are out of control. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I don't even like to think about it. Okay. Anything else on Marshall, Jackie?
Nah, they just need to go and get lost. I mean, I hope that Marshall finds. I hope he finds love, child. I don't know. Somebody out there for everybody. That's what they say anyway.
This brings me to another point, though. We haven't talked about this, but I just want to know your take on it. Haley and I are single women. My cousin Haley. So we always have our single woman talk. Just comparing experiences. Like, what say you? Am I the toxic one? You know,
am I the toxic girl? Listen, Haley and that she is out of control. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay, so we were talking about this, and I think that I'm probably traditional in the fact that, you know, maybe I'm a little less traditional. Like I, as a Southern woman, I do feel like I'm probably more drawn to men who are a little bit more masculine, rough and, you know, tough, like machismo men. But I also like the dude that's a little more tender. You know what I'm saying? So and Haley, that's not Haley's thing. She don't like that. And I was telling her, I was like, I think that the landscape in general dating today is more of like a Marshall, like just gentle, more. It's
not so rough and tough. I ain't been around the block.
Yeah,
or just been out here in these streets, or
soft as a bad thing. Me myself. So I think the way Jackie is saying soft is more like you a punk, you weak. You know,
that's absolutely what she's saying.
You can't lead me. When I'm saying soft, I'm just like, you just, instead of probably changing the oil yourself, you're gonna take it on down to Jiffy Lube. Take it on down to Jiffy Lube. Change that oil.
If there's grass to be cut, you're not gonna cut it. You gonna hire a lawn service to cut it.
And I don't really have no
okay with that.
I don't see a deal breaker. Me myself personally, I'm okay with that. So, but I really do think and we can move on to the next guy. Even Brett, like as much as everybody was also in love with Brett and all, I'm like, Brett didn't to me come across like a
he's definitely he's absolutely a diva. He's a diva. And I like it. You know what I'm saying? He's cute. He's nice. I feel like him and Tiffany are really a great match. There's some truth to that bougie Brett though. I get it. I mean, I think he's I do. I just think he's a diva. But that's okay to be a diva. It's okay to be a diva. He got it. He's a diva. Don't listen to me. Don't tell him I said it.
Yeah. That final episode when he kind of went off about his pants not fitting right on his wedding day.
I thought it was hilarious and I loved it. I did. But he was cutting the corner. He was pushing it close though.
He was like, oh, absolutely not. This should not happen.
Even his brother was like, okay, calm down. You're not mad at me. He's like, but bro, I was like, oh, did you said it? I think you said it. Groomzilla. He was a groomzilla.
He was a little bit of a groomzilla, which I'm not tripping on. I mean, I could only imagine how heightened it would have been under those conditions. Like, not only are you planning a wedding, but you're also being documented by a whole camera crew production.
You've only known this person for a short amount of time.
4 weeks,
Yeah.
6 weeks,
Right.
you know. So the one thing
Mm.
that I read,
Mm-mm.
and this might be contrary to popular opinion,
Okay, well, preference it by saying,
don't listen to me.
thank you.
Thank you, sis. Yeah, don't listen to me. I've been watching some post interviews and everything about, the cast and everything. So I saw some really interesting ones, and it just it shined a different light on Brett than I originally.
Mm.
Production, obviously they have out hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours of footage, and they have
Yeah.
to put a storyline together. So they put together the best storyline for each couple.
Right.
And the fairy tale couple, they
always gotta have one of those.
to be Tiffany and Brett. So even if they probably had some of these things, they maybe didn't want to highlight it because they were like, no, this is going to be our flagship couple.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point, Lo. That's a good point.
But in looking at some of these interviews, I'm like, I still love and adore Tiffany and Brett. I just feel like seeing them outside of Love is Blind makes them look like much more of a regular couple with just regular couple energy instead of this.
Okay, good.
Oh no,
it's so great. Yeah. Yeah.
Carpet ride. And one of the things I will say, I don't listen to me for real on this. I'm no body language expert. Ain't no linguist, none of that. So I don't know. But what I will say is Brett said two things one thing on the reunion that I was like, oh, okay. So first, Tiffany, I just felt like she didn't really hardly say anything, almost like she was sedated. Like, yes. Oh,
what is wrong with you? But I think you talking about at the reunion, right? I'm gonna tell you what I think that was.
Yes.
You want me to tell you now?
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you what I think that was. I think that she has had a chance. I know how I this is how I would feel. I think that she had a chance to really see the show for what it was. And then she was like, oh my God, she's probably like second guessing some things that she said or some things that she did. And was like, oh my God, I probably shouldn't have did that. And oh my God, I probably shouldn't have said that. And so I think she was kind of trying to tone it down because at one point you can tell when somebody, and I do it a lot too, because I'm making sure that I'm processing things and saying things the way I want it to come out in the right way, right? So she was like looking up and she was kind of, you could tell she was trying to figure out what the next statement was going to be. And she was like, well, here's the thing. And she kind of took a deep breath and thought about what she was going to say. And then she went on with something, but she was very quiet and reserved and did not acted as if she didn't want to really talk a lot.
Yes.
And so I think that's why that could be a reason.
That actually makes a lot of sense, and it really gives a different perspective to my initial thought, which was she don't like her husband as much as she liked him at first.
I don't think that's the case.
Rose glasses have gone clear. They've turned clear.
Really?
Vision. And the other thing that made me feel like that is because Brett alluded to, he didn't say in clear terms, but he mentioned that while they were filming, he lived in Portland and the show Seattle. So he would drive 3 hours to work and 3 hours
and 3 hours back.
But since they've been married, he alluded to he said she's made so many sacrifices with her job and she moved to Portland. So I'm assuming that means she sacrificed her job. And she sacrificed the things that she had in Seattle. And it further makes me feel like that was the case because he took her to his house in Portland.
And they were talking about living there.
And she was like, I could see myself living here. So I'm like, unless her job is remote, I don't know that she still has her career. And that for the type of woman that she seemed to be, a very, what is the word? It starts with the A.
Mm.
Basically, a very career oriented woman who wants
I
to.
said,
Yeah, you did, because you're like this too. It's the same trait that you have. Like, you're very like you want to. You always want to grow professionally and achieve more and reach new levels in your career and professionally and in your education. She seems very much like that. That is a part of her motivating factor, or her a motivating force for her, and like her will. It's really driving me completely insane that I can't think of the one word that I'm trying to think of that will entire that I just spent 45 minutes. Anyway, it's that. Y'all know the word. I'm 35. It took, y'all. It really took. Oh, anyway, she's that. And for her to have given up her career and all the things that she probably is like, I'm Tiffany, and I just, boom, boom, I got this, and this is a part of my core being for 36 years. I pride myself on education, professional growth, and development, and now I'm not in that profession. This is me filling in the line. She could very well still have that job, but she ain't living in Seattle anymore.
She ain't living in Seattle, right?
And he's probably the primary breadwinner and taking care of this. To me, that seems like that could be a very tricky power dynamic for her mentally, or identity shift for her mentally, to go through from single for 36 years in a great career field, taking care of myself, taking care of my own business too, married in 6 weeks, moving to a whole nother city into this man's home where he is the sole primary winner, and trying to find her own identity within wife, newly, and
No, that's an interesting take on it, sis. I think that could definitely have some part to do with it, because, or even if it's not a negative thing, maybe she enjoys that. Who knows? Yeah. But I do think that she did work from home, because one of the statements I felt, maybe that wasn't her. Somebody was making a statement about their work area space. Right. So I do think she was working from home. However, that's still a big sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? And so it could have some truth to it. Like, maybe she's feeling like, I've sacrificed most of it, but also she's like you said, it's hard to live so many years and be by yourself and not have to think about anybody else, move and shake how someone else shakes, to going and having to do that. And for her, that was 36 years. She's never had that. Like, even some people like me could say, oh, I had it before, then maybe I didn't have it, then I had it again, but she's never had it. So this is her first time having to walk through this process and figure out how to allow somebody in her space,
I 100%. And that shift, no matter what, is always significant, which is my favorite word. Haley and I were kind of talking about this a little bit before too, about how when we were, like I said, we were kind of talking about dating, and she was asking me, like, we were basically talking about certain things. Could we live with this? Could we not? Is this something that we could live with? And I was telling her, I was like, well, when I'm thinking about, or if I'm dating and I'm thinking about, is this someone that I would want to take things serious with? I look at it like an as-is purchase. I got as-is sticker on it, baby.
Lauren! Shut! You know what? I am sick of you. I'm literally invested. Like, girl, what is it?
As is. They not changing. What if they never
out of control? That is the best analogy. That's the best analogy I've ever heard. Golly, as
is. Never ever change a lick. Now what you gonna do with that, Lo? What you gonna do with that?
Oh my gosh. That is with that genius. That's genius, actually, sis.
I'm pretty sure Haley's the one who said it like that, and I'm like, bro, yeah. Absolutely. What are you gonna do with that?
That's what therapists need to be telling these couples at premarital counseling. What you gonna do with that?
As is. Look at it like an as is.
As is, baby.
Me too. I'm an as is purchase, baby. What if I never change?
I am sick of
I'm
you.
just saying.
Girl, you is out of control.
You gotta think about
You
that.
do, as is. That's a free tip.
And
that's a free tip.
Say, like, with Tiffany not having, or we'll just go with our assumption and pretend like it's right. She's never been married.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't have any children, and maybe, let's say, I'll just insert, this don't have nothing to do with Tiffany, but let's just say someone her age, no marriage, and they have never been in a very long relationship. Maybe like a year and a half has been their longest relationship.
Right.
Which is long enough, but not really very long.
Right.
Thinking about going from that being your longest commitment to marrying someone which you hope will last for a lifetime at 36, you know what I'm saying? So I just feel like that's one of those things where you really, at our big age, me, Tiffany, and Brett's big age, you really do have to be like, okay, if this person never changes and I never change, how do I see building a family? How does the future look with us? Like, can I, you
as is, baby. as is, baby. Yes.
Honestly, those are some real tough questions. And the older I get, at least, the harder that reality it sets in. Like,
yeah,
I was just thinking today, am I living in the Matrix? Is everybody else right? And I'm the one tripping? Gotta be me. I have resolved in my mind, okay, I'm the crazy one. It is me. It is me. So I'ma just chill.
We're just establishing that.
I'ma just chill and I'm gonna let y'all just run free in this world.
Up! Lauren, I am laughing way too hard at you. Stop it. Just stop it.
Hey, hey, David.
Hey, David, you done missed all her shenanigans. She on here cutting up, David. Oh, Lord of mercy.
Just reminding me, the whole dating older and you being in your, anyway, we ain't got to, what else you think about Brittany?
Nothing. I ain't got nothing. What? Not a drop.
Okay, well, let's go on and move right on along. To my boy who grew out his beard. He heard me from last week, you know.
He did.
Grew out that beard. What?
I have something to tell you. Hold on. I gotta get to it. I purposely saved this on social media because when we talk about what happened, how if you could watch the live the day that it was the day that it was supposed to air, or not. So, but there is there was a GoFundMe account for him to grow his beard. I'm not kidding you. They had a whole GoFundMe account so that he could grow his beard.
Really? Oh, Zach. You know, beards really do make a significant difference.
You said it though. So it was a fundraising team beard. Fundraising for Team Beard.
Who got the money?
Oh, it's on Zach's page. The amount is $1,394. So $1,394.
He got 13.
Raised 1,000. So he got.
Zach, you are something.
Oh my God, no! It's a funding for Team Beard and Team No Beard. They're two. How is this even possible? Where are the proceeds going to?
So look at that.
I don't know. So that just gave you the one for Team Beard. The one for Team No Beard is $1,445 raised of $1,000.
they want him. So more people want him to not have a beard than they want him to have.
They're out of their mind. You know what? I already know what kind of people these is.
Me
I
too.
already know.
You see who he married.
You ain't got to.
Not today, Satan.
You ain't got. You ain't got to say a word, baby.
I heard him say. I was listening to an interview. I think they asked him something along the lines of, "Have you ever dated a black woman or a woman of color?" Because I don't think.
Oh yeah.
Is black. But
she's like Hispanic or.
I think she's a few things, but anyway, he basically said where he grew up was a small town. There wasn't a lot of diversity, but so I guess that was a no for him. And
no, but he did still say, but I have dated girls that were not white. He said that.
Girl, I was in and out. I just after he said the town I grew up in was small and no diversity.
He did, but and because that's the first thing I thought about. I was like, okay, well, you're just trying to say that you've never dated outside of your race. He said, but I have dated girls other than girls that were white. That's what he said.
He said that she mostly dated white guys, right?
Yes, because she grew up in the white neighborhoods. Mm-hmm. Interesting, right?
What do you think about his hair and his beard?
I definitely think it makes him look less goofy because he just looked like the cart. I feel bad for saying this, but she put it in my head. It's Irina's fault. She told him he looked like a cartoon, and he looked like. Don't listen to me. Maybe he looked just a little bit. Not. I shouldn't say it. Never mind.
That way, because he even said when she told him that he wasn't sure if it was a compliment or
he did. Okay, he looked like Goofy. He looked like Goofy. He looked like Goofy a little bit.
No,
I told you I probably shouldn't say it, but just a little bit. I mean, it's something weird about his
area in this region.
Yeah, and it made him look a little like Goofy, but then. He grew the beard and then was like, it's less attention. It's less attention drawn to
that reason.
Cricket mouth.
Oh,
don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. Is it a cricket mouth? Not. Maybe that was mean. Maybe I don't know how to really say it the right way. I just don't.
Say it. Stand 10 toes on that. Cricket mouth, Goofy. We got
that was rough.
He definitely has a peculiar look, but he's not unattractive.
He's not
unattractive.
He's definitely not the cutest white boy though.
I think Zach specifically is he's so quirky.
He
is like Zach as with a little sauce. Girl, yeah, he'd be fine. He would be just
a little swag.
Girl, please.
He need to hang. You know who he need to hang out with?
Cameron. Oh, yeah.
You said Jay-Z. We couldn't have been more wrong. What? You know what they say? 1, 2, 3, go. Wrong.
we were off. We were way off. I thought Jay-Z because I'm like, look at Jay-Z. Jay-Z's not attractive, but his energy and personality and sauce
now
infinitely
that's now
more of attractive than like just the face card. You know what I'm saying? Like Irina also should hang out with Jay-Z or Cameron.
Irina shouldn't hang out with nobody but her damn self. Okay. Go have several seats, Irina. She's not even a factor. Nope. What did our girl say about her? What did she say about her?
Liz?
No. Marshall's girl.
Peasant. I'm gonna have to take that one. Now, peasant?
That's a whole nother load. They gonna be hurt if you call somebody a peasant, they're gonna be hurt. Their feelings are gonna be hurt. Okay.
Bruh.
Their feelings are going to be hurt. She called her a peasant.
The thing about Irina, my thoughts on Irina, not to cut you off, but
go ahead.
We'll get through this. The thing about Irina is she was the OG villain. And then Jackie just surpassed her in such a wild and crazy way. And then Jackie didn't even have the ovaries to show up to the live reunion.
Or
Irina did.
Or
strong jaw. Okay. Well.
Or I ain't say nothing. I just said or. You just never know. You never know what people identify as these days.
She. You know what? Don't listen to what's being said here. She identifies as a woman. And Marshall, you was wrong for saying that, man.
She was wrong, Marshall. That was just cruel.
Jackie he
really wanted to hurt her.
He did. The thing about Marshall is back to it feels like he's the type of dude that I feel like I get where he's coming from. It's like I'll take so much, and then I'm gonna hit you so below the belt. I've taken so much. Now you know what? That's why you gave you a You know what? That's why your mama slept with the mailman, and that's your real daddy.
Almost called your whole name. Stop it.
You know what? That's why your daddy don't like your mama, and he didn't like your mama so much that he left the whole family, and you ain't had no daddy growing up. That's why you like that, because you don't even know what it's like to see. I told y'all about 5 minutes ago that it's me. So don't
don't listen to her, y'all.
I'm like, Marshall, that's why Marshall, you can't wait until they take you all the way there.
You got to get it. You got to throw them punches when you can, baby.
Because you done
stay in the fight. Stay in the fight. You can't jump in at the last minute, baby.
Call this girl a she. Like, dang, Marshall, you should have said something earlier before it got to this point.
To this point? That's all. That's the first thing you can say.
Like, bruh, that was
you gotta
start off and then build.
Yeah, you gotta build, right? Okay, so listen.
Yeah,
we talked about Irina.
She's trash, but at least she showed up and had the ovaries to.
Now listen, that is some ballsy stuff there. I was like, ain't no way Irina gonna be on this show. Oh, and guess what? The drama was on social media.
What?
So of course we're gonna have to talk about how we was waiting up. Well, I was waiting up for Love Is Blind, but as I was waiting up, of course I don't follow them on social media, but I went to their social media page, and like maybe 6 hours prior to it was supposed to go live, they had the pictures of every single person that was going to be on like the live. So I'm swiping, going through, and then of course I'm nosy, so I'm going to scroll down and see what they talking about in the comments. Right, girl, they were like, why y'all take down Irina picture? Apparently they had posted her in the original photos of all of them, and because they were getting so much backlash when they posted her picture, they took the picture down, and people were actually literally all down the timeline. They were like, oh my God, did y'all see they took down her picture? I was like, ooh, and that was before I even saw it. I was like, dang, it's like that. And I know how people can be mean and cruel on social media. Yeah. So there's no telling what. And it sounds like they must have took down the comments too, I'm assuming. But yeah, they shut that down quick. And that's what everybody was talking about.
I heard that even Vanessa host, she turned off her comments because I heard people were commenting so much of her because she was obviously biased on the way that they were so bad on this reunion. I was just like, get somebody else to do it. They were horrible.
You know what? It's a I be on social media more than I give myself credit. I do be. What had happened was, no, for real, I'll just not be on there, and then all of a sudden I'll go to bed at 10 o'clock and I'll be on social media just scrolling to, you know, 3 hours. Yeah, it'll be 2 hours past. I'll be like, oh, let me go to bed. So it was a post with Cameron and Lauren, and it was a side-by-side picture of Cameron and Lauren and Nick Lachey and his wife. And the caption was, when two people know that who the original host should be, who the real host should be, and they should be terrified or they should be scared or something like that. They was literally, because it was a picture of Cameron and Lauren just cheesing and smiling and happy, and Nick Lachey and his wife was kind of just like blah. And they was like, yeah, they know y'all, the real people who should be in their position.
I would love for them.
Wouldn't that be so? I was like, you guys are so clever.
They should be the full host of the entire like franchise. Like show up in the pods with them, the ones that do the reunion. Speaking of the reunion, in these last few minutes, let's just talk about the shenanigans. What was that? The live?
Y'all, listen.
Crazy stuff.
Let me tell you, it was awful. Sorry. For me, I was in that number where I was just waiting and waiting. And
I don't know why that caught it. You said I was a part of that number, and I'm thinking, you know what, the church in me.
I see.
All right.
So I literally was just up, just working and doing different stuff, and I was like, all right, well, let's just get this popping. I tried to turn on the app a couple of minutes before 8:30, and nothing. It was giving me an error. Now, in my house, don't talk about us, but we have one Netflix account downstairs and another Netflix account upstairs. We was trying both. Wasn't getting through to none of them. I'm sorry, I have a cough.
Ooh, Netflix, don't be trying to try us because if we share passwords. Allegedly, there's password sharing.
Password sharing around here. But anyway, so trying both of the different Netflix, and when I tell you, error, I look up, it's 10 o'clock.
error.
I look up, it's 10 o'clock. And I even was like
8 to 10 o'clock.
I was even like, well, let me go ahead and watch I literally did this. I was like, let me go ahead and watch the last season again, and maybe it'll just carry me into the next episode. But I was so impatient. I kept pausing it, going back, trying to figure out if it was going to come. And I just gave up. It was late because I was up late. And even at like 11 something, it still wasn't coming up for me. It was still an error.
What?
And next thing I know, it was like the next day, I think I saw this. It was like, it'll be available on Netflix at 12 noon. So I thought I still checked because I have it on my phone. And when I was at work, it had not come on yet. I was like, ooh, I could watch this on my lunch break.
When did you end up watching it? The next day?
That night, Monday night. I didn't get to watch it until Monday night when I got home from work.
Did it look edited? Like, were there any live moments, or it just flowed seamlessly?
It kind of just flowed, you know. I mean, I'm sure it probably was edited from the way it looked. But, and they even said, I don't know. She even said, I know some people might have been able to, I don't think it was live though. It wasn't streamlined for anybody. So at the beginning, she was like, you know, we purposely sat here the whole time and didn't talk so that we could save all of our, you know, thoughts and, you know, with each other. But yeah, I didn't get into the next day.
Yeah, that's crazy. I did see like the live stream, but it was like an hour and a half later, and I don't know. I was just furious. I only have one TV at that. I don't even know how I had the strength to just.
I'm surprised.
I know. I had friends over, so we were just kind of talking, and they were showing me the updates on social media, and you know, we were just talking in between. And yeah, we just kind of stayed on that queue, and it was saying, you know, we're having some technical issues, but we'll be with you. And eventually it started, but it was the actual live stream. Like they had like some sound issues during the
Oh no, we didn't have none of that.
That's why I was thinking the live stream probably was more of a live stream in the moment than the 12 o'clock release on, you know, the day after It was
Interesting.
nothing crazy. I don't think that happened with the live stream. You could just tell because it was one time Marsha was giving an answer and it sounded like somebody from the control room might have been mic'd up and they were kind of over talking him, but it wasn't anything crazy. It was just like
I didn't see any of that. Did she say at the beginning, this is,
she
oh,
said that
she did?
you said, yeah, we've been sitting here for the entire hour and a half or whatever, not talking because yeah, we want to make sure that.
Yeah.
Real quick, I kind of want to hit on everybody. So I think it was the order was like Paul, Bliss, and Zach, Kwame, and Chelsea, Tiffany, Brett, Marshall, Irina. I can't, and Micah.
And Micah, and then Irina. Mm-hmm.
One thing I was so confused about Vanessa asking Paul over and over and over again what he meant by not being able to see Micah as a mother. I felt like she was acting like she couldn't comprehend or understand what he was saying.
Because she couldn't understand.
Actually, she just didn't like his answer.
Yeah.
Just because you don't like his answer doesn't mean that you should continue to say, "Oh, I'm confused. I'm confused." No, what you mean to say is that sounds mean or harsh or whatever, or not valid, whatever you want to say to discredit this man's answer. But he was very clear and concise.
Very clear.
See nurturing qualities that I associate with maternal qualities in this woman in the time that we were together. Like, I don't know how much more. And he said it. I'm not saying she couldn't have gotten there. I'm not saying this. I'm not saying that. But it was like almost like he personally choked Vanessa out or something, or called her a bee. Like, why was she so?
I really think that just from her behavior, I really think that she just goes and attacks any male that she thinks has any flaw. Like I mean, even between when I'm looking at how she interacted with him versus Micah.
Oh yeah.
She wasn't going in like she said some things, but she wasn't really going in like that. But also the last season during the reunion, one time she was talking to some guy and she got herself so worked up. She literally was like over talking everybody, and then she had to say, "You know what? Okay, let me calm myself down." And she did like she was taking a deep breath. She's just doing too much. I don't know. How I know how she got the gig because of her husband, but I don't even him. I actually started looking at it again halfway through yesterday. He didn't hardly get 2 words in. It was her show.
Yeah.
He didn't hardly talk. There were times where I was like, he's gone a long time and he hasn't said anything. I'm like, why is she the one responsible for like asking all of the questions to the men and the women? Like, interesting.
I mean, I get the dynamic of there being like a more talkative, rah personality in a relationship and one that's more laid back. So, that's probably what's going on with those two. She wasn't a good host, and Lauren and Cameron should take it over from here. Point blank, period.
That's it. That's all.
What did you think Paul was wrong? What did you think about?
I didn't think Paul was wrong. I think what he said, I feel like because of I think I said this early on. I felt like seeing Micah's interaction with Irina and even the way she carried herself, with the Kwame whole situation, I feel like she really is who she showed us to be at that time.
Oh, too.
And I think that she just knows how to put on for the camera. She knows what she needs to do when she wasn't around, when she could like maybe be herself.
Yeah.
Girl, you know what I'm saying? But she knew how to put on every other time. And while I think that she might have been playing and not really there for the right reasons, I do think that she did fall for him.
Right.
I think that she really did fall for him, not expecting to fall from him, and she really did. And I think that she probably, of course, there were probably a lot more things that were not, of course, there definitely were a lot more things that happened and transpired that we just don't know about. And I think he kind of alluded to that, like, there's so many things that, we've gone through and different, you know what I mean? And so those are things that we didn't get to see because, truth be told, like you said, they probably made Tiffany and what's his name?
Brett.
Brett to be like the golden couple, and so how much more, could they have edited just to be like, okay, well, we're not gonna make it look that bad. But I think she might have this ain't loving hip hop. So I think she might have probably been that person that was, and even with like when they were talking about at one point, she was like, we're gonna have to have a house in some,
Arizona.
and he was just like, no. So he's the type of person that's absolutely as is, baby. As is. You forgot about that, didn't you? He just as is. He like, you're not gonna make me get out of my comfort. He's already that type of person. I mean, I look at that like B. I mean, he's just like it. No, this is what it is. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing something different.
Yeah.
And I get that. That's not bad.
Exactly, I do too. And even Tiffany alluded to Brett being like that because on an outside interview, the question was asked, "What annoys you most about your partner?" And she was saying she didn't expect it. He's so regimented that he is extremely hesitant or just downright will not budge out of his normal routine. And, I'm like, that's that 35, 36, 37, 38 age. I'm like, yeah, this is what I do. Even I remember having a conversation with someone that they were very similar to that. And it was someone that I was trying to decide if I could date. And I was just like, well, I like to travel. I have my family over. I'm always going out with my family. And, those are things to consider. And I think people, even me, honestly, I don't think that it would be a deal breaker just because someone's regimented. Like, it's not a deal breaker. It's just a thing to be aware of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe she, because they weren't living together for so long and they both were outside of their normal routine, during that experiment, she probably didn't catch on to that until regular life.
Afterwards, yeah.
The thing that I wanted to mention, even though Micah, so we were talking about how Micah seemed to not be into Brett. I mean, not Brett. Paul. You had said something early on when you were talking about Paul and Micah. How?
I feel like we were talking about with Paul and Micah how I feel like the host wasn't as fair.
It wasn't the host. I had a thought when you were talking about their relationship dynamic and how she
I honestly just felt like she was a mean girl, and there was probably things that we didn't see behind the scenes.
That was what it was. It was Micah's friends tell you, to me,
exactly who Micah is.
It might be birds of a feather flocks together. I really think that you can tell a lot by the company a person keeps. And
yes,
it just seemed like she was surrounded by mean girls. So it's hard. It's hard for me to
not see her in that light.
Yeah, it's hard for me to believe that she was just not a mean girl.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. It is.
I mean, because that was weird. That was on some weird stuff. I was like, you know what? They're really lovers. And Micah just went on this show for fame. But now I'm like, oh crap, plot twist. She fell for him. And now her lover is mad.
What do you think too about somebody do you feel like they're obligated to let you know like where you're falling short? Like that was one of the things that Vanessa was kind of arguing or going back and forth with Paul about. He was saying, "Oh, I didn't see her in a maternal light," and she was saying,
It was too soon. They hadn't had enough time together for him to be like. I guess you can look at it different ways. Maybe yes, if he and yes and no. So yes, if he was really like considering marrying her and being with her long term, to be like, okay, yes, I went into this experiment, because really, I really thought he was gonna say yes, because out of all the times he was just talking about how much he loved her and how she missed. And when she said that, when she called him on that drunken night, I said, "Oh, girl, that's all he needed, baby. You done filled the deal right there." He like, "Oh, she needs me
"She
now.
loves me."
She loves me now." And so I was like, "Oh, yeah, he's gonna say yes." But I also believe that he was just like, I'm unsure, and he could not tell her that because he was so unsure. I think that if he was more sure than he was unsure, then he would have had those difficult conversations.
This is what I wanted to say. Okay, I think that certain people can bring out different sides of you. So he was saying that he couldn't see the nurturing side in her,
Mm-hmm.
and how he was so unsure about her, like he didn't see her being loving. I assumed what, like, I heard him saying or interpreted as him saying like she wasn't incredibly affectionate or like vulnerable, and just, letting him know like, I am all into you, kind of like how Chelsea was with Kwame.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that was sort of one of the things that I was thinking, like maybe in that relationship, their dynamic was they both had a little bit of a guard up. Like they would say,
Mm-hmm.
"I miss you," or "I miss you," or different things to let each other know that they were into each other. But maybe there was still that little barrier of fear where they were scared to just let it all hang out and let the other person know exactly. And honestly, I felt like that contributed to, because she said something along the lines of, she told him to go first because she wanted to know if he would choose her, because she was like, it would have been easy for me to choose him if he would have chosen me, but I never felt like he would just choose me outright. So I'm like, she didn't feel like he would choose him outright. He didn't feel like she didn't feel like he would choose her outright. He didn't feel like she would choose him outright.
Yeah.
Will just continue. They both regarded, they both were
Yeah.
unsure, and ultimately it led to them not choosing each other.
So let me just interject right there, because this is very important, because throughout this whole time that they've been together and been interacting together, I have always said, like, the way that they kind of um when they like are touchy feely, it's not a it's not a loving touchy feely. It's always like a nervous, we don't really do this touchy feely. So every single episode when I saw that, I would be like, they are not comfortable with each other.
Almost,
They just
is this okay? Like,
isn't, yeah, and they're just kind of going back and forth, and it's like, okay, are they just that much of nerds? He's a nerd and she just doesn't know how to be really bubbly and just warm and welcoming. Women, we can be, oh, and she was just like, kind of playing with him and like stiff. And every time I would be like, they act like they don't know how to be playful and intimate with each other.
yeah,
And so that might have just been what they were. But I really just chalked it up to the fact that I felt like, Paul was a little different. But I feel like I know guys like Paul that are definitely, if you're into a person, you'll show it. You know what I'm saying? And you'll know that is, you get what I mean?
I 100% get what you're saying. I just wondered, like, if it's one of those things where just these particular two people just couldn't get past that.
Mm-hmm.
Both were a little bit too guarded on the letting it,
Yeah.
let it all out. Because I feel like we all can relate to being a little hesitant. Like, I don't know if this person is feeling me the way I'm feeling them. Like, should I be all giddy and affectionate and tell them,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, I just love hanging out with you and I had such a good time," because then you risk being rejected. And
Mm-hmm.
I get the instinct to protect yourself from being rejected. So,
right.
but sometimes, like every once in a while, you meet somebody that's just like, I love you, and I don't care who knows. And it's just like, oh, it feels safe to just be like, I love you too. And I don't
to be loved. To be loved. Oh, what a feeling to be loved. Yes.
Anyway.
Oh, that was
We could
good.
talk about this for probably 3 more hours, but
All right. Well, thank y'all for listening tonight. I know we just kind of did our own thing, was on a tangent, but when we love these shows, we support. Listen, tell Netflix to give us a deal.
Period.
Or we
shows
just,
already. We know the business. We know
just tell them we need to be on the circle.
Oh, we gotta apply. I forgot.
We'll have to do it. Netflix, and chill. Thank y'all for joining. Please like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend, and then tell that friend to tell a friend, and so on and so forth. But ultimately, we just do this because we love y'all, and we just be shooting the you know what, because that's what we do.
Yep. That's it. That's what we do. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share this video, and come back and holler at us next week. Same time, same place.
Okay, so listen, I know y'all know what today is, right? I have a good dad joke. I only know this because I see it on social media. But today's date is 420. I have a dad joke. The devil can smoke as much weed as he wants to, but he'll never be the most high.
Okay. What?
Come on! Y'all don't be out there smoking the devil's ass. I love y'all. Boom.
You are out of control.
I got that from Kev on stage. He told that joke today. I was like, I'm stealing it. Yes, I love it so much.
All right, y'all.
On that note,
Kev, we in the same boat. OMG. Well, thank you.
I got that from another Kev.
Oh, you did. All right, y'all. Well, on that note, y'all be safe.
Y'all.
Bye.
Bye-bye.